Ah, the internet. The thing that everyone uses and everyone needs. We use it for talking to our friends, keeping up with people's birthdays, looking at animal videos. But apparently, overusing the internet does have some downsides. It can lead to depression, anxiety, impulse control problem, the inability to focus, and the heightened need for instant gratification. And for me personally, it causes self-doubt and a little bit of lack of progress or being productive. So the internet can be useful. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing, but it does have some downsides. And I've kind of noticed with my friends, even family members, that it's kind of overtaking their lives. And after watching the Netflix documentary, Social, what's it called? I'll put the name here. I can't remember what it's called. But after watching that, where basically we just overuse the internet and the internet basically tracks us, but that's not the whole point of this challenge. It was mostly sparked, and then it definitely hit me after I was dusting my bookshelf, looking through my books, and I realized there's a few books that I got a couple months ago and I haven't read them yet. And I just kind of told myself, oh, it's because I don't have time. But then later on that day, I had breakfast, and at the kitchen table, I then realized I have been sitting at the kitchen table for 2 hours. I already finished eating, but I was still at the table just going through my phone, watching YouTube videos, scrolling through Instagram, and then it kind of hit me. I do have time. I just don't use it well. And I've kind of noticed that's how most people are when it comes to the internet. So which then officially sparked this challenge of going a week without the internet. Now, apparently on your phones, it can tell you your usage, how many hours you're on, specifically for what apps. And apparently, according to my phone, I was averaging about 7 to 9 hours of phone use a day. That's a full-time job, and I'm not even being paid for that. And I was trying to figure out, where am I getting 9 hours from? Well, I do wake up pretty early. I normally wake up about 6:37, and I play on my phone for a little bit. And then throughout the day, I'm periodically just checking my phone, and especially at work, in between guests, I'll just be on my phone. Instead of doing something productive, I guess, I'll just kind of just flip through things and check Instagram, even though nothing has happened in the last 30 minutes. So for 1 week, I decided to give up the internet completely, including TV and video games, because if you let me play video games or watch TV for 12 hours straight, I will do it. And then here are the rules. I'm allowed 2 hours max on the internet for apartment hunting, since I am trying to move, and job hunting, and to use my Works app that I have to use daily for progress reports every day. Outside of that, no internet use. Okay, now, I know some people will be like, well, technically, that's still not giving up the internet, and this is the whole challenge, it's false. 2 hours compared to 9 is a really big change, and I kind of still need it. It's not like I can just throw away my phone and like hope for the best. I kind of still have to use it for work, and since I'm apartment hunting and job hunting since I'm moving, I can't really apartment hunt without the internet. And to help me follow these rules, I did delete any social media platforms, and I did tell my friends if they need anything to just text me, because I kind of realized most of my friends, we don't even actually text. We just kind of send each other DMs on all these different platforms, but never through texting. So to start off the week, I started a list, and I made basically a bunch of tasks that I've been putting off and telling myself I don't have enough time for, but I realized I do have time for. So basically, I just want to get a bunch of tasks out of the way, so I wrote down a giant list, so when I am bored, because I realized I was going to be bored during this, to just basically start checking things off that checklist. So the things on that list is including like actually doing the laundry instead of, you know, just leaving it in the hamper, or brushing my dog, because that takes a very long time. I'm sorry, but can we please take a moment and just appreciate how cute my dog is? Like, look at him. He is such a good boy. Let's just appreciate him for like 2 seconds and just love him. If you also have a very big furry dog, you would understand. And for all that's any curious, he's an Alaskan Malamute, so he sheds a lot. So for the first couple of days, I actually got quite a lot done since it was my days off, and it was boring. But I realized something. No matter what I was doing, even if I was busy, I would periodically grab my phone and start swiping through it. Even though there's nothing on there, I would swipe through it thinking I'm gonna find something and realize there's nothing on here. So then I would turn it off and then put it away again. And I did that a lot of times where I would just unconsciously just grab my phone and then just start swiping like it's just a tick or a normal reaction to things when I feel even an ounce of boredom. Or there'd be certain moments where I'm in between tasks and I get bored halfway through doing that task, and then I'm like, oh, I'm bored, I want to do something. But then I'm like, we are doing something. We're doing something productive, or we could read if we want to. So that was a big struggle. Now, during the week when I actually had work, that actually sucked a little bit more just because I didn't have anything to do in between my guests, because there's not a whole lot you can do, because sometimes I could be waiting 5 minutes between each guest, 15, 30, it all depends on the day. So having your phone where you can easily pause and unpause something is easy. You can't really get into a book as well, but I tried my best and I brought a book to work, but it kind of slightly irritated me. Like, for some reason, social media is a way for me, like mentally, it was a way for me to get away from people, even though I'm still with people. It's a weird feeling sensation. I also had a slight case of FOMO, of fear of missing out. Even though I don't really do anything on social media. I do have a Twitter, I do have an Instagram, and I do have a Snapchat. But the thing is, I don't post anything. I'm what you call a lurker or a ghost on social media. I don't post anything, I don't like anything, I don't even comment on anything. But I just like reading the comments and reading people's posts. That's all I really do. So I'm just constantly taking in information and seeing what's happening, but I don't actually get involved with the information, if that makes any sense. But that being said, by the end of the week, that all went away. The anxiety, the fear of missing out on things. I just kind of stopped caring. I didn't really care what was happening. My parents kept me updated on the news. I had friends who would tell me things that was happening. And I didn't really care for much. Basically, I had the mindset of like, if it doesn't pertain to me, I don't care, which in certain situations is really good. And then there's some that's like, you should probably try to look into things. But for the most part, I was just kind of like, eh. My confidence also went up. Maybe it's from not constantly looking at all these influencers on social media and seeing a lot of fakeness in Photoshop, that I wasn't really worried pertaining to me. I was more focused on myself and my health journey and everything, and I wasn't really caring about anyone else. So for the past week, I've actually been feeling a lot better about myself. And now for the 2 hours that I was allowed to use, the thing is, they were actually a really productive 2 hours. When I had those 2 hours, I was just straight on, just focusing on finding an apartment, finding a job, and I wasn't really opening 1,000 tabs, looking at 1,000 things at the same time. It was just those 2 tabs, Indeed or whatever I was using, and apartment hunting, and that's all I really needed. So I actually got a lot done in a week for apartment hunting. Now, as you can tell as I'm talking through this entire video, I've already done this challenge. It's now been, I want to say 2-3 days since I have stopped this challenge. Now, a week is not a long time to do this kind of challenge. Maybe 2 weeks or even a month is really good to really get a good feel for it. But I still think a week is a pretty good amount of time for something that you're kind of addictive to. It's kind of like giving up sugar for a week. A week is not as long as a month, of course, but I still feel like I got a good feel for the situation and this challenge. And now it's been a few days, and I've actually have not re-downloaded a lot of the social media apps. I did re-download Instagram because I still talk to a lot of friends on there. I did re-download Snapchat, but I have not re-downloaded a couple other social media apps. I haven't even re-downloaded Twitter, and I don't even have Instagram on my homepage anymore. So the past couple days I kind of realized I don't check it, or I just don't check it as often, or I'm not as long as often, because I'm now kind of bored by it. It's just, it doesn't really interest me. So I'll go on there, I'll message a few friends, I might look at a few things, but I'm not fully interested in the whole platform anymore. I'm just not interested. Maybe because I don't use it as much, and if I were to start using it, maybe you can re-interest me, re-spark that thing, but I'm not really interested anymore. So I'd say this was a pretty good challenge. It did have some lessons. I did realize that we are all very stuck to your phones, and it kind of made me realize, like, maybe we need to learn a nice fine balance of using the internet. Like, yes, we still need it, but we don't need it for every second of our lives, if that makes any sense. And now finally, for the biggest question is, are we using the internet, or is it using us? Dramatic effect. I do recommend watching that documentary on Netflix. I liked it. It basically, I already knew that Google, the internet's already tracks us whatever we do. I mean, once you put something on the internet, it's there forever. So I'm not surprised, and I kind of knew that already, but it's still interesting to watch how some of these co-founders of like Pinterest and Twitter, that they even get addicted to their own apps and they designed it that way to be addictive. So it's kind of interesting to watch. So if you have a new challenge for me, or any challenge you want me to try, I do health challenges because I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm trying to add more lifestyle challenges, so this would be a lifestyle. So yeah, if you have any challenges for me, and I hope you like this video. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Make good choices, follow your dreams, and I'll see you guys later.